Hey everybody, it's Jacob, he's back.
Yes.
We're so excited to have him back in a video because it's been way too long.
Oh yeah.
Way too long. Well, so we're coming to you today about a very important topic that has actually affected our family in the last couple of weeks. And so we figured it'd be a really good time to share this with your family and just point out some obvious do's and don'ts when it comes to people trying to take your money, especially around the holidays, right? Because
Oh, yeah.
holidays are those times when unfortunately some of those nefarious people come out of the woodwork. So first things first, we did have two situations in our family that directly affected us. One of them was an IRS agent that called somebody and swindled out of some money. And then the second person was just it's really urgent that you pay me this money and then I'm gonna give you more money back. And so we wanna kind of talk about these two things. One did affect us financially. The second one almost did, but ended up that the bank teller advised her not to do it. So number one is the IRS will never, ever call you, email you, or text you saying you're being audited, they're asking for money or anything like that. Okay, so they will never, ever do that. The only thing that they will ever do to reach out to you is
Mail you.
that's right. They will always send you a letter in the mail. Now, the other thing that you need to understand is when the IRS asks you for money, the only way that they're going to do it is they're going to first mail you a letter
What?
and explain what's going on. And then number two, they're never going to ask you for gift cards or debit cards, ever. Never are they going to send you down to CVS or Walgreens and ask you to send a MoneyGram or get a MoneyPack debit card or anything like that. They're never ever going to do that. The second thing that I see a lot in my email is your PayPal order was approved. And that PayPal order was $499. And if you agree and you still want it, press here. And which you should never, ever press here because it's a scam.
Yeah.
Now, first things first, I always say, and I always kind of giggle when I get these because obviously if I know I ordered it, it's a valid order and I'll see it in my PayPal or my Amazon account. But if I know I didn't order it, I just delete it and go about my day. The other thing is, you never, ever take advantage of the offer to send me money so that I can send you more money back. Because that's just silly, right? I mean,
You don't know if they're gonna give you the money or back.
you're never going to get the money back, I guarantee you, because they're scamming you.
Yeah.
So the situation that happened in our family was they said we'll send you we'll send you $100,000 if you send us $50,000 back. And of course, she went to the bank teller, and the bank teller was like, I don't really think this is a good idea, and it sounds kind of like a scam, and talked her out of it. Unfortunately, in both of these cases, neither one of these people consulted with their finance manager first.
Yeah.
So one lost their $675, and the other person fortunately did not lose her $50,000. So anyway, don't ever send money to somebody in order to get money back because they're just not going to send it to you.
Not smart.
No, not smart. The other thing is, and I know you've seen this before, is a lot of fraud right now is via
Text message.
text message. There is not as much email fraud as far as financial fraud is concerned is as text messages. I mean, Jacob gets them how often?
It really just depends because sometimes you could get like 3 a day, and sometimes it's like one every other day.
Yeah, and I usually get at least one a day. So he gets way more than I do. But those are click the link here, and it's either going to be some sort of like trying to get on your computer, trying to get on your phone, trying to get your personal financial data, clickbait, or it is actually a link to get you to give up your debit card number or something.
And another thing is that like when you are deleting those things, be careful what you click on because you could accidentally click the link.
Yeah.
And then nowadays people are getting IP grabbers, grabbing people's IPs.
So smart you are.
Yeah, I do a lot of it, or I don't do a lot of it. Sorry, I learn a lot.
He sees and learns.
I sees
Good.
and learn.
I'm glad you're learning.
Yeah,
So
it's bad.
The other thing I want you to watch out for, and this is really interesting, a lot of banks and credit unions lately have started opening different fraud departments for things like Zelle. So if you go over a couple of credit unions, and I know this for a fact because a couple of my clients work at these credit unions and they are actually in the Zelle fraud department. Now, what that tells me as a financial advisor type of person is if you have a Zelle fraud department,
That's not good.
That's just for that app. That's sort of a big deal, okay? So
Yeah.
I don't even use Zelle. I won't use Zelle. I won't use WhatsApp. Those are those two very large high fraud outlets because they're not easily traced. And so I would highly encourage you, if you're selling something, do it the old fashioned way. Cash, money order, cashier's check, something like that. Just go the old fashioned way and always, always, always verify that that cashier's check is actually valid by calling the bank that it was drawn on. You can always do that, by the way. It used to be a teller, and that's what I always did for people to verify that that cashier's check number was valid. The only other thing that I'd like to just warn you about is if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. It probably is.
Like
So-
the $100,000 back.
yeah, so I highly encourage you to think twice. Keep in mind that anybody that's asking you for money is not going to use fear tactics. And if they do use fear tactics, it's probably not something that's legit. And I would probably just encourage you to hang up on them. So I know this is a really, really long video, but it happened in our family twice in the last few weeks. We found that this was something that was very important for us to talk about. Jacob and I have had lots of conversations about it, and we just don't want anybody to fall victim any time of the year, but especially in the time of the year where you're in a very gracious, giving mode, and we don't want you to fall victim.
And the biggest thing is just being smart and making sure that it's real.
That's right.
Because I get them, and normally when they call you the wrong name, you normally know it's probably not something that's for you. Like
True.
when I get called Priscilla, like my name's not Priscilla, it's Jacob. Yeah.
Anyway,
gotta
y'all
be
make it a
smart.
great one, and definitely be smart. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to all of our social media channels. Bye.